Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death.
Glory to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Ghost. Our Lord victories, all the martyrs cristeros. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Take a seat. Here or over there?
To wipe it?
It's better to stand here or stand over there?
Maybe it's better on the other side. It's better if you do this side, right?
Yeah. You're close.
First, we thank Father Pfeiffer and Father Hugo. Thank you for inviting us to be with you. And my purpose of the visit was to encourage you to share between us, to share experiences, advices, to share graces with the will of God, and also to be united as far as we can. The distance, sometimes with the distance, is difficult. But I want to emphasize what Father said and Father Hugo said many times. What unites us is the truth, the faith. It's something that many traditionalists have not been able to grasp. We are united first in the truth, in the faith, through our Lord Jesus Christ. And if we are united in faith, we are united in charity. So this is why the Father said that we are not united around the persons, but we are united around our Lord Jesus Christ, who offers to us this union through the faith, through Himself, His revelation, the Catholic religion, His Holy Catholic Church. So I want you to encourage, because this fight is going for a long time, and we have been in this fight from birth, from my birthday, for babies. We are in this fight for the grace of God, and we are traditional from the 70s. My parents are traditional from the 60s. So never in our life we went to Novus Ordo Mass. So as Father pointed out sometimes, Father Hugo, we are a fighting family for the grace of God. We went the first years of my life, we went to a priest who was thrown away from his diocese, who will say on the Tridentine Mass. We will go to Mass only once every 6 months. I remember, still 6 years old. And my father will read to us books against communism, against Masonry. When I was 8, 9 years old, I remember those books. We will read in family, because our positions against the modernism and communism, and against all the new theology and philosophy, we were left alone in the fight by our families, neighbors, relatives, only few parishioners. So we are used to that. And we can see that the first aim that we should be concerned is in being united in the faith, to be strong in your convictions, to keep studying the crisis of the church, to keep studying theology and philosophy as much as you can, at least the basics that Father explained to you about concerning Pacendi and separated 10 encyclicals. But according to my experience, the first weapon to overcome this crisis and to be able to fight this learning, preparation. Yes. Of course, the very first is grace of God. But grace gives, God gives you grace, and we are faithful, we are not sometimes. But we will do our part if we prepare ourselves, if we study. I am convinced that ignorance and lack of knowledge is what is the first problem for Catholics today. Because the will follows the mind by nature. If we have convictions, like the motor, like the reference, the head, the government of the body or the soul is the head. Of course, the faith illuminated by reason, but still, if we don't have convictions, we are led by persons or by feelings or by conveniences, compromises. So he who is led by convictions is not shaken easily by what this person says, even if a priest or bishop. We are not shaken by our feelings. I would like to have this. We are not shaken easily by compromises. They offer money to us. They offer opportunities or comfort. So I tell you this because I noticed that this fight has been lost by many Catholics because they don't have the love for truth. They don't love truth, at least in the first place. And I pointed out my faithful in South America that Saint John, the evangelist, gives a reason, only one reason, to explain how Catholics will be deceived by the Antichrist at the end of times, or by the religion of the Antichrist, in this case, the Vatican II. Very well, we can say this is the religion of the Antichrist. And he gives one reason. He has summarized our whole battle of Archbishop Lefebvre and our resistance here. He said the reason is because the lack of love for truth. People who have not been loving the faith, the battle of the truth, as the banner, as the flag that we carry, have been using different flags with more importance than the faith to form groups, to form resistance or flags or pockets of traditional groups. If you notice, speaking about St. Peter's Society, St. Pius X Society, the fake resistance of Bishop Williamson, they have flags which are more important for them than the truth. And it's interesting that St. John's warning is fulfilled in them. For lack of love for truth, they will be deceived. They are being deceived. Because we have all the elements to see what is the truth, what is the faith. Of course, we have all the popes and the revelation and the teachings of the magisterium, the pope, Pacendi, all the theology of St. Thomas Aquinas, the philosophy, scholastic philosophy, also the history, and you have all the elements to prepare yourself, to investigate yourself, and not to be deceived. And I was reading this morning to prepare a little bit the conference, and Archbishop Lefebvre said something also very interesting to give an overview of what we are speaking. He said the following words. He said in 1991, he said, "We are resisting against the modern errors. The reason that we are resisting is because the general apostasy of society and the church, the conciliar church. This is very important because people don't see that. We have to see that it's a general apostasy. So if you are led by the faith, by the truth, you have the convictions that the faith is what we are defending. Therefore, we will see a general apostasy, not just a part, or not just a relative apostasy. A general means in all degrees of knowledge, of behavior, of morals, of discipline, way of educating the people, the schools, and moral issues, yes, of all kind. We see this pattern. They don't go around Christ, they don't adapt to the faith, they don't put the truth as the reference. So they deviate in all subjects from the truth, from the faith. This is apostasy, to walk in a direction opposite to our faith, from Christ, from God. So it's very important that Catholics see that. See? Even as a father said, even if the Antichrist is not coming soon, we are in apostasy, general apostasy. And that is the reason of our resistance, this is Archbishop Lefebvre. So, he also says something to complement this. He says something that to mix the truth with something that is not truth is an abomination. His own words. When we mix or we put at the same level truth as something that is not truth, and we mix it in our life, in our mind, in our actions, in our moral, our discipline, when we mix both, we are committing an abomination. His own words. It's abominable to do that. Exactly why we are resisting the fake resistance of Bishop Wilson and this SPX. They are mixing up Catholic elements with modernist elements, putting at the same level of importance even. For example, you have seen that Bishop Williamson's group, they seek, for example, the new canon law, which has the spirit of the Vatican II. They speak of Catholic elements in the new religion of the Conciliar Church. They speak of Catholic elements in the new Mass. So this mixing up of Catholic element, of Catholic truth with what is not truth, in fact, is the abomination of desolation. So you cannot mix, you cannot compare, you cannot put at the same level what is Catholic with what is not Catholic. Exactly what they are doing. And it's not something light, it's not something superficial, it's something grave. This is why we are resisting. Many faithful and priests see that it's not serious or it's not of great importance what is happening with Bishop Felay and Bishop Williamson. If they don't see that, it's because they don't have enough love for truth. They don't have the habit of putting the truth always as the unique, the most important, the fight, as the flag of the fight. So they are on mask, take off the mask of how they think by not defending the truth over persons, over opinions, over this mixing of abomination between religion, Catholic religion and the other religions, or the modernism. They don't react, they keep silent many times. This is why Father Hugh asked me to speak about the Cristeros very often, because we are in a very similar battle with the Cristeros. You know, the Cristeros was an army in Mexico. They were fighting for life to defend Christ the King. That's why they said, "Viva Cristo Rey." because they wanted to enthrone Christ the King into Mexico as the king, as the president, and overthrow Masonry, Cales, Obregón, and all those who persecuted the church. So they had the support. At one moment, at the beginning, they had the support of the priests and bishops. So they went to the battlefields to fight. They were many times fasting without food on the mountains, sleeping on the trees, on the ground. They don't have bullets many times, they only have machetes to fight. They have the faith, the rosary, Holy Mass, the praise, the encouragement. They are the weapons. The weapons of the Cristianos was 15 mysteries every day. They had to go to confession once a week, a Mass obligatory at least once a week. And also they made an oath to die for Christ the King, and not to step back even one step without obedience, without permission. The punishment was execution if they will step back without permission. 2 Cristeros died like that, stepping back without orders. So the Cristeros were winning because of faith. That was not because the weapons, not because the bishops or priests, because many were also tired. Sometimes they were returning or being in exile. But the faith, I was already appearing at least 3 battles, and she was leading the battle. She was seen 3 times at least leading the battle of the Cristeros. One general, Jesus de Gollado, he wrote a book, and he narrates many battles. At the beginning of the Cristeros War, he remembers one battle in which 11 boys won against 600 soldiers. And they only had 3 machetes, 2 knives, and 2 guns. And they won the battle. And the soldiers explained after the battle what happened. The soldiers, they surrounded the Cristeros, and they opened fire. At that moment, they saw thousands of Cristeros everywhere with weapons. So they felt overwhelmed, and they started ruling out the soldiers of the government. And their testimonies were the same. It was an accord. It's the testimonies of these soldiers. And they said that when they wanted to shoot a Cristero, they said that and a beautiful lady in a horse will cover with her body the bullets. And there were angels who appeared to defend the Cristeros and to give a strength and faith. So they were fighting for faith, and they were flocking to the army for these reasons, miracles. Like the multiplication of tortillas, they run out of food. So the Cristero cook had a great faith, and the general said, just give to the soldiers the leftovers. And they knew that he has only 5 tortillas. He said, okay, I will trust in God, in my general, for obedience. And start giving tortillas to everybody, and was multiplication of tortillas, and they were able to have dinner that day. So they were moved by faith. They are faithful. So what happened with the Cristeros? Many brought tired. Some were sold themselves for money. Some passed to the other side of the army. Eventually the Pope betrayed them. And we don't know why, maybe misinformation, most possible, most probable. They had to surrender the weapons. The only defense that they had to lay down the weapons, and they were killed. They were killed more after the battle than during the battle, the Cristeros were. But the interesting is that the Cristeros continued fighting after this event of the Pope, asking them to lay down the weapons. And this second fight of the Cristeros resembles our fight today, the resistance. What happened? So the Cristeros saw that the government continued imposing Masonic laws, persecuting the church. They didn't change. They were taking away the property of the church, persecuting. So very few Cristeros group themselves again, but without the support of bishops, without the support of the rich people, of the benefactors, or the government, without the support of the Pope. See? But they knew that they had to fight. They cannot continue being seen our Lord Jesus Christ wept and striped and humiliated. You see? So they saw the same that we see. This love for truth is the love for our Lord Jesus Christ. We cannot bear to see Him humiliated and blasphemed with these doctrines of modernism. We cannot bear that. So we have to continue the fight for His honor, for His kingship. So the Cristeros, for the kingship of our Lord Jesus Christ, continue fighting. And until the end, they keep fighting. Until the generation of my father. My father was born in that generation of last fighters. And he said that he wanted to marry my mother because she was the daughter of the general of the Cristeros. I want to have Cristeros as children. No? That was my father's and my mother's dream, to have Cristeros children. We have 7 children. Well, no, 8. One died very early. And well, the Bible said, no. At 10 minutes? Well, yes. So, what I want to point out that this fight was for the faith. So, even if we don't see immediate success, immediate rewards, immediate clarity of triumphing against the enemies of Christ, we are not promised that by our Lord in this life. We are commanded to fight at His side, to be faithful to Him, to keep the faith, to build up according to His will, to fight with Our Lady, and die fighting, even if we don't see the success, even if we don't see what is going to happen after. Somebody else will take the banner and we keep going. This is why the example of the martyrs always was a seed of Christians, is what Tertullian says. Because when we practice the heroic virtues, it's what caused Catholics to take the banner and keep going. If you see a lukewarm Catholic, you never follow. You are not excited about this man, this fellow, and you don't follow. Because man is created for high ideals, for the infinite love of God. We are made for the love of God for the whole eternity. Our heart will not rest, St. Augustine says, until we rest in God, in His love. So man is made for high ideas, the youth, for example. So this fight that we are keeping, thanks to Father Hugo also that keeping the fight, should be an encouragement for everybody. We are fighting for our Lord. We are not fighting for ourselves, not even for our family. No, we are not fighting for reputation, for justice. We are not fighting for honors. We are not even fighting to have the reward to become martyrs one day. No. Even if we are unknown, if we are with the wife and the husband who are in their daily work, trying to find themselves, waiting for Father Faithful to come after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I hope it's not so much, so long, you are doing a great job. You are being pleased to God exceedingly. Because God is a father and He will not abandon us. He's the king of the army. Do you think that we are fighting alone? These 100 people we are here? No, we are just going behind our Lord and our Lady, the leaders of the army. It's an honor. Believe it's a great honor to be fighting for the faith. We have been stripped from friends, jobs, money, reputation. We have been injured by calumnies and injustices and lack of charity. Doesn't matter, we keep going. It's an honor. It was Father Hugo, he encouraged me because I was stripped from my monastery in Colombia. And he wrote me a letter, beautiful letter. He said, Father, you should be happy. It's an honor to be persecuted for our Lord. That encouraged me a great deal. That encouraged me. Because sometimes we are depressed, no? We are human also. It is hard to be united, to be encouraged one each other, because like the Maccabees, we are few, but we need to help each other and to encourage each other. So I will tell you a little bit just to finish what happened in this battle the last 4 years. No? So we left our monastery in New Mexico, in Silver City. And we told Father Cyprian that we were seeing many serious, grave things against the faith by the SSPX. And he told me, well, I also see those things. So I told him, well, you have to make a profession of faith in public, of opposition, of being against that new direction in public. He said, well, I don't want to do it because I will be, if I do so, Bishop Felix may take away my monastery from me. He may persecute me. I cannot afford that. So he decided to be silent, even if he was against, because they fear precisely what we are speaking. When we are defending the faith, doesn't matter the price, we have to do it. So I had to leave the monastery because that I could not be inconscient, be by omission, by commission, being cooperative in this work of betraying our Lord, because that is the word. SSPX is betraying our Lord for associating themselves, associating the Catholic Church, marrying the Catholic Church with the Conciliar Church. The signature is not yet official. They are in a relationship of like boyfriend with girlfriend. They had the ring of compromise and compromise. Engaged, yes. They promise each other fidelity already. There's no signature of the vows. They are engaged already. We know that it's enough to have a bad desire and dishonest desire to commit adultery in the mind. We don't have to be cast in adultery to be accused of adulterers, no. It's enough to have an adulterous thought to commit a sin, a mortal sin. It's the same case with SSPX. They have an attitude of adultery because they have this association, continuous association of friendship, of mixing up Catholic with non-Catholic elements, and with these people in Rome. So we cannot cooperate in consciousness against the faith already. So we started the monastery then in Colombia, but we learned by experiences. No? We learned by experiences. We started realizing that people in Colombia were those who are helping us. They have other interests besides the faith. Yeah? Those who were donating the monastery, they will not sign up papers to give the property for interest. And when they side with Bishop Williamson, we clashed with them, and they took away the monastery with the annuance of Bishop Tomás de Cuenos. So they took the monastery and they didn't return to us nothing. The furniture, the books, the personal documents, even our bank accounts were taken from us. Imagine. So we had to rely upon our faith in Ecuador. We have good fighters over there, 150 fighters. So we were like in exile practically, and they gave us food and lodge and company. So we were never destroyed completely. That was the aim. That was the aim of the bishops, to destroy the monastery of St. Joseph. That was the aim. But thanks to God, we kept going in Ecuador for 8 months. And after we moved to Colombia again, because a group of nuns who knew about us, they were thrown from their convent for resisting the bishops. They were interested in the work of Archbishop Lefebvre, and they called upon us for help. Father Hugo, they knew them. There is still information, they need to learn many things still. But we have many young ladies and young men who want to become nuns and monks. So we're now in this process of building up the convent and the monastery for nothing again. And God will provide. But we are happy to be today with you and to share this battle and to encourage each other. Okay, we finish today here, I think. And I think the question will be for after dinner.
They can ask questions.
We can ask questions, okay.
Father, can you kindly elaborate on the comparison between the agoristas and the fake resistance?
Okay. And during the Doctrinal War, there were a group of people called agraristas. They were hired by the government to fight against the Cristeros. Like the mercenaries. They were like mercenaries. So they were Catholics. They knew the problem. Buy for money, for interest of land, of no harm to the families. They decided to buy their services to the government, and they decided to fight together with the government. And so the faith resistance is doing something similar, because they were offered bishops. It's like a comfort, like properties, like money, it's like honor, like power. Bishops look like given power and position to the people. And as soon as a problem with the faith arose, with the new mass, the miracles of the new mass, and the rest that we know, they decided to side with the bishops instead of siding with the faith. They decided to defend the bishops instead of defending the faith. It's in great matters. Well, small matters will not be a big problem, but it was a matters of faith. As I told you, mixing up the Catholic elements, the abomination of the diabolical religion of Vatican II with the Catholic religion, that we cannot accept. So it's a relation, because they prefer to side with something that is lower than the faith for interest than to defend the faith. That was the relationship I will find between agoristas and the fake resistors. Another question.
Father, you have to leave Colombia now. What are you gonna do now?
Well, no, we're now trying to find the best option. The problem is that we are foreigners, so in Ecuador they deny me the visa to remain in the country. So now also in Colombia they are denying me the visa also. So we are now looking the best option for us. Because we had vocations from Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, and United States who want to be part of the convent and the monastery. So we are trying to see what is the best. Yes. Usually, when we are treated like that in the foreign countries, usually the best for a superior is to settle in your own country, to be solid. In Mexico, usually, we will see. We will see. Another question. Yes.
Okay, so the cristeros that you call the agraristios,
Agradita.
when you say they were fighting against the other cristeros, does that mean physically with guns
Yes.
in a battle?
Yes.
Or?
Yes. Remember, there were two armies. The government, with the Masonic ideas, helped by the United States, in fact, against the cristeros, helped by the bishops and priests, two armies.
And they were paid by the Mexican government
They were paid by the government
to fight against
to
the
fight the
other
cristeros, exactly.
Wow.
To be spies and to be defending the cities and
They revealed a lot of, they betrayed the Cristeros in many.
they betrayed, of course, because they were the same family, they were cousins. Imagine, no? This is why I want just to tell a story that happened. That what happened when my uncle was a general of the army. So he was offered to him 3 times million of pesos. 3 times. And he, of course, he rejected. But when cristeros were taken as rehenes, when the cristeros wanted to ransom a cristero, when the cristeros wanted to ransom a cristero who would have fallen into the hands of the army or the government, they will use the same strategy. But the cristeros will only offer 100 pesos, and they were able successfully to rescue and to ransom the cristeros. So they say the bombing of money did indeed work to ransom cristeros, but never worked to ransom or to conquest or to make a betrayal of the cristeros. No? That was a very known fact. Yes.
How did the second wave of the cristeros die out?
Because was a very good question. There were 3 years of battle from 36 to 39. So they were hunted down until they exterminated them.
Wow.
In fact, that will happen. In fact, this is in the Apocalypse. I don't want that, but that is normally that is going to happen with us. You know, because in the Apocalypse the saints will be defeated by the Antichrist. We don't know if it's the time, but maybe. So it's why I told you at the beginning that we don't look for success for winning the battle. That belongs to God, the winning, and the time of the winning. That may happen to us the same. We may be hunted down. Just hunted to extermination of the Catholics, resistance. This is why I want you to protect your priests, no? To be very concerned with them and to be always trying to see what they need, how they suffer, why they are sad or struggling, no? To be able to impress them, because that's a treasure for you. It's a treasure for you. It's protect your priests and are your generals. Yes. Another question?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for coming and sorry for everything. What do you wish today, Father, from our Lord Jesus Christ, Sacred Heart? What do you wish for?
Of course, it's a great feast. Yes, beautiful feast.
Right, what do you wish on this day would happen to everything you spoke about? What do you wish for?
I wish in this feast of the most Sacred Heart of Jesus that you have the wish of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He said, "Learn from me, because I am meek and humble of heart." To ask for the Sacred Heart of Jesus, to ask from his sentiments and his heart, to be humble and and meek. So in a battle, you have to be meek like a dog and wise as a serpent. No? It's the gospel. So it's what I wish for you is to have great devotion to the most sacred heart of Jesus. What will be the example of a father for his children, to be like him.
I meant for you also, for your battle, for your family, for
Yes.
your everything that you spoke about,
Yes.
for all the persecution and the rejection from the countries to enter. What do
Yes.
you wish for you
And I
from
will-
Christ our Lord?
Yes, we wish for them everlasting heaven, and they may have the grace and the fortitude to continue the fight and to be martyrs. My best wish for my faithful always was to wish them to be martyrs. No?
But how could you win the battle, and where do you think you need to be, in which country? If you were given a visa, which country do you think you would need, where you
Bueno, the will of God, you know?
what?
the will of God, whatever He says will.
Right. Is it Ecuador or is it the other mentioned countries? Where do you
Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, United States.
who's avoiding the visa? Don't you think you can know?
Yeah, it was a persecution. It's persecution.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Father Rafael, who were you ordained by? Which bishop ordained
Bishop
you?
Tisier de Mayares in 2009
De
in
Cabrera?
Winona. No, Bishop Tisier de Mayares. Sí, please.
Father, what do you think is really the goal of Brothers Dejas and Bishop Williamson? For what are they really trying to do?
I will say they have the spirit of the SPX, the spirit of compromise, of politics. They don't see the faith as the banner, as the most important. They see numbers, faithful, politics, and control. And they are not leaders that we can rely because they have this spirit of seeking honors and control and reputation, obedience before the faith. No? I will say that they had the spirit of liberal spirit of Bishop Fele. I will say that less, maybe in some aspect less, but in other aspect more. No? We judge the objective, no deeds. They may have a good doctrine, but the problem is that the attitude of being silent about many errors makes them accomplice being sharing in these mistakes of not speaking out and not defending the faith, like Bishop Fele. So I compare them like a war in a trench. So we were in the same trench, fighting together, but suddenly the trench became weak because the influence of modernism and liberalism and false doctrines. So we had to move to another trench to keep fighting, and they felt very comfortable with the bishops and the houses and the support. No, let's keep here fighting against the modernism in the same trench. Exactly what Archbishop Lefebvre forbade us to do. We never can fight the modernism from the inside. It's a delusion to try to fight from the inside. You have to fight for the outside. Because if you fight from the inside, Archbishop Lefebvre said that the superiors make the inferiors. The inferiors cannot, usually they don't influence the superiors, no. The superiors are those who influence and change the inferiors. So we found ourselves in this trench with these bishops. They don't want to speak, they don't want to react, they don't want to defend the faith, but to move on to other trench. It's like they prefer to stay behind. We keep fighting, moving on. I don't know if I explained it well.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes.
Well, Rafael, did you you say that the Presteros, they had no backing from the priests and the bishops? They were on their own?
And the second wave,
Second wave.
yes. The first wave, yes, they did. It's quite well exterminated. A very glorious way.
If there's no more questions, can you close with the newspaper wanted Bishop Raphael?
Yes.
Can you close with that?
Yes, he was a Christian bishop. He was being persecuted, and he said he was able to escape 7 times from imminent death. And one of these 7 times was when, in the newspaper of the state of Veracruz, his secretary of the bishop brought the newspaper to him in the morning. His Excellency, look what the paper says, first page. Bishop wanted. Whoever kills him will have a reward, I think 1 million pesos, something like that. Anyone can kill him, even. So the bishop said, oh, this is something serious. And the secretary said, what you are going to do now? Okay, just do whatever I will tell you to do. Bring me in the car, in this moment, at the presence of the governor. He's going to kill you. Don't worry, I have everything planned. I know what I'm doing. So bring me to the office of the governor. So they went to the governor's office. He went down from the car, and he knew where the office was, so he went upstairs. He ignored the secretary of the governor. He opened the door of the office of the governor. He was there, and he dumped the newspaper on his desk. You have ordered me to kill me? Kill me yourself to me. I am ready. Now, in this moment, kill me. And he said, oh, you are too courageous, you are too valiant, you don't deserve to die, no. I am going to write another article forbidding anyone to kill you. Will come up tomorrow. You don't deserve to die because you are too courageous to die. That was true story. Well, we finish here, huh?
We can.
Yeah. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. What about victories? Christian martyrs. Father and Son.